Very often people want to shift into a reality where there's more wealth, more abundance, more freedom, more prosperity, whatever it is for you. And we need to talk about what it takes to be able to shift into a reality like that and to make it stick. And so, one of the first things we can do is address the mindset that we need to be able to allow for a reality like that to come to us and to stick to us. But the first thing to talk about is that sometimes, this is an emerging hypothesis that I have, that sometimes it is actually necessary and beneficial to go through periods of time where you do not have enough. It is very clarifying. First of all, it will let you know who your true friends and family really are. It will demonstrate to you your ethics and your value system. So, do you steal from other people? Do you double down on your passion, your determination? Do you dig deep into your grit, or do you give up and roll over? And so it tells you a lot about yourself, and it tells you a lot about the people that you have in your life. In addition, it also de-anchors you. This is my hypothesis. It de-anchors you from material realms, which allows you mobility in order to actually shift into vastly different reality layers. And so there are moments in time that it is actually advantageous to be poor for a variety of reasons. And then when you emerge from those time windows, you can rebuild your mindset, you can rebuild your belief system in order to allow for the flow of abundance, which you should have been queuing up while you were waiting in preparation for your shift. And so, for example, when we get caught in the scarcity mindset loop, we see money as something other than what it is. Money really is a vibration. So is freedom. Freedom is a vibration. Prosperity is a vibration. Support from others, community, is also a vibration. And when you tune into these radio frequencies, what you want to do is you want to allow that into your auric field. You want to allow it to permeate through you. And you want to match that frequency. What does that mean when people say that? Let me give you an example. So I recently encountered two people that were living very abundantly, and you could feel the wealth coming off of them. And I don't mean just by material possessions, I mean their vibration, their energy frequency. One of them had that vibration because of the multiple businesses that they run that are prosperous and successful. And it had a particular resonance to it of hard work, of passion, of drive, of grit, of determination, and enjoyment. And the other person, their auric field had an old money, family money tied to them, where they had a poshness in their auric field of generations that had come before them that had allowed them to set up their family. And it had a frequency of kindness, of charity, of generosity, because that's what they were used to. It had the feeling of certainty and comfort without having to engage in strenuous tasks. Unlike the other person, where there was that strenuous effort, But that's actually where they found their enjoyment. They found almost a sense of purpose in the working hard and turning something into nothing. And the entrepreneurship journey is a very distinct journey that will capture people's souls and minds and hearts and not others. And so when we talk about the vibration of prosperity and matching it, and the vibration of wealth and matching it, we really need to tune in to what is present in the auric field. And are you somebody that can read auras, or are you somebody that can sense energy? Because this is a skill. And if not, then you can reach out to me and we can develop this as one of your emergent gifts in your spiritual awakening or your consciousness expansion. This is part of the coaching that I do for the reality shifting coaching. So you can reach out to me for that, but you can also do it on your own and practice reading the information, because everything is information. If it's coming through your senses, even if it's beyond the five senses, it is information that your brain, your conscious mind can decode. And so you can hone these gifts by meeting people and reading their energy or feeling their energy or reading their aura, and then doing a comparison to maybe beggars on the street. What is their auric field like? And this will give you important information for how to match your vibration and your frequency, because you want to allow for certain things to come in, and you want to put up boundaries for certain things to keep them out. And when we are caught in poverty mindset, and I've been there, what happens is that we believe that money is something unobtainable, that it is this thing that is in this far distant future, or even freedom, whatever. I'm using money as an example, but there are many other examples that we can use. Some people just want more time, but they feel caught in a prison of having to work too much or overexerting themselves with their commitments. Other people want the luxury of being able to take time off without consequence. And so being able to balance their businesses or their projects. Other people just want more spending money or independence in that way. And so when we're caught in the scarcity mindset, some people want love. It's the same principle. We start to take this concept in our mind, this symbolic representation of whatever it is that we're lacking, and we take it outside of us, right? And we push it out and push it out way far away from us, to where now all of a sudden it becomes this thing that we look at and yearn for in the distance. Why won't it ever come to me? Why won't it? If I could just meet the love of where's my twin flame? Why can't I get a job? Why is my business not? Why is my bank account? And then it becomes this illusion of this fantasy that we can't connect with because it's too far away from us. And then sometimes, and I see this a lot, sometimes we put up barriers, these invisible force fields between that concept and us. And so it's like, then when it tries to come to us, it'll bounce off of this force field, because we'll be like, oh, we really want love, or we really want freedom, or we really want money. And then when it starts to show up on our door, we reject it. We ignore it. We don't take the opportunity. And we do so as a form of self-sabotage. This is part of the shadow work journey, which we also do in the coaching. And so we understand how, when what you want actually comes to you, you're like, nope, no, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. Yeah, I know this is like $1 million offer, but I'll get back to you later. When later? I don't know. I don't know. You see that dead air? When we leave people hanging, we leave opportunities hanging. And chills. Somebody needs to hear this. Might even be me too. It's a good reminder for myself too, because I'm speaking because I've been on this journey and am still at various stages of it. It's not just an on and off switch, it's a practice. And so what happens is that your ships start to come in, and then you go and you burn the docks. So the ships actually can't dock there. Or you neglect to tend to the opportunity, or to really let it blossom and let it grow. And it's one thing to say this is not in alignment with me and to put up a boundary. And that's a separate episode that I'm going to cover, if not next, then in a couple of episodes coming, because it's really important. Because when these opportunities start to come, you have to tell the universe which realities you prefer. And sometimes the first ships that come to you are not the ones that are in your highest alignment for a variety of different reasons. And so the selection process is very important. So I'm not talking about when you're selecting and you're refining. I'm talking about when you are self-sabotaging and when your intuition is screaming at you that this is the right fit or that you should pursue this, and for whatever reason you block it or you say, not now. And the universe will be patient with you to help you work through these lessons, right? But sometimes you might have to wait a little bit longer because the opportunities will expire. And especially if you keep self-sabotaging, eventually the people that are trying to give you that job or connect you with that person or whatever it is, it'll like, I'm imagining a fruit when it's ripe, it'll drop from the tree, and if you're not there to pick it, eventually it's going to fall to the ground and an animal's going to get it, or it's going to rot and just go back into the ground. And if you're standing under the tree with your hand out, the timing is off, right? Because you didn't catch the fruit at the right time. That's okay. The tree will grow another fruit, but you might have to wait a season for that to happen. Depending on the rhythm of what is trying to come into your life, this could be a very long season on the order of minutes or days, or it could be years or even lifetimes. So you have to really be in tune with the timing. And when we talk about building wealth or building abundance, it's important to think about the concept of the money tree. And that is, you don't want to just create a reality where you have a lot of money, period. I've known somebody who did that, and unfortunately, they ended back up in poverty because they didn't take the money and they didn't create a regenerative money tree with it. And this is also the path that I took too. When I had savings, I took time off of work to explore the consciousness expansion journey. I invested in my research. I invested in leaving the country and having different experiences. I invested in meditating, but this didn't generate income for me until recently. And so it's something that I was able to turn into a money generation tree, but the lag time was very long. It took like 4 or 5 years before I felt solid enough in my framework that I could actually start coaching other people. And so I burned all of my savings, literally, I burned everything doing this research, supporting myself, and figuring out the secrets of the universe. And during that time, I took like some small jobs here and there to help out people mostly, but during that time, I carried a lot of stress because I could see that the money that I had that beautifully came into my life at just the right time was diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. And I made a conscious decision that that was the right path for me, but it got me into some precarious situations where I had to borrow money from friends at some points because I'd hit the end of the runway and that was it. And I had literally nothing left. And so I didn't know at that time that I was creating a money tree and I was putting these seeds in the ground. And instead, I was looking at my money as this pile of money that was just losing itself over time. Instead of shifting it into, this is an investment, and I know that I'm going to make something out of this. I just don't know how to do that yet. You see the difference, right? And so our relationship to the concept of money is really, really important, because when you just manifest a pile of money and you just see it as a pile of money and there's no regenerative income and no plan for it, because you're only seeing it as a pile of money, right? Then it creates this loop to when you burn the pile of money, you're back where you started. So my advice is to actually think of shifting into reality layers and manifesting reality layers where you have money trees that you're planting in the form of different projects. And you don't have to have all of the details mapped out, particularly if you don't yet understand your purpose or your destiny blueprint, which I'll talk about in upcoming episodes, how to figure that out. You want to create something that is going to create for you. You want to have an orchard that has different money trees that you can walk through, particularly if you have any Gemini placements. My Venus is in Gemini, and my fellow Venus and Gemini, or even Venus and Sagittarius, you guys will know what we're talking about for sure, because it's like you can't just do one thing. Like, who just does one thing? And there are other placements too that are like that. I'm thinking of a particular listener who has a Sagittarius, a Scorpio ascendant, and some other placements as well, like heavy Sag placements. And I'm pretty sure Venus and Sagittarius, if I remember. And they are somebody that just needs to sample life and to create in many, many different pockets. And we should celebrate that, right? Because there are people like us that need to have many different trees, different types of fruit trees, so we can harvest different jellies and sell those jellies or whatever it is. I'm just being a little facetious and playful now, but so we want to build ourselves a sustainable future that doesn't rely on the things that we hate to do and doesn't rely on just having a pile of money, which is what some people try to manifest for themselves. I get emails about that. And so we want to think about connecting with the energy of money, the vibration of money, allowing that into our auric field, not rejecting it when it comes, and also tying that, this is super, super important. If this is the only thing you remember, please remember this. Tying whatever you're trying to manifest, money, prosperity, love, into a deeper feeling of satisfaction, purpose, fulfillment. So you're not just trying to buy the shiny things. You're not just trying to have somebody in your bed at night. I mean, all of these things are easy, right? You're actually trying to open up your heart, open up your soul, open up your destiny, open up to your biggest, brightest, best potential, and have the things that you love and crave. And when you can combine all of those, that is when the magic really happens. And this is only just now something that I have tapped into. The vibration of purpose work, the vibration of destiny, the vibration of emotional fulfillment, being single, like not having it reliant on another partner. It's mind blowing. It's a game changer. And so when you understand what the vibration that you feel most satisfied with, maybe it's hard work, maybe it's entrepreneurship, right? Maybe it's building generational wealth. Maybe it is just having passion projects. Maybe it's just doing art and not having to worry about any 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. Maybe it's about bringing something amazing into society that other people can enjoy. These are all purpose linked things that when you build that into your reality shifting matrix framework, it's like an accelerator, right? Because the universe wants to help you do that as well. Because your vibration when you are fully alive is so magnetic that people respond to you differently, opportunities respond to you differently. And when you have that force field down, when you're not self-sabotaging yourself, that's when it's effortless, right? And that's what we're going for. Effortless manifestation, effortless reality shifting. So listen, I am a reality shifting coach. As you know, it's a little bit more complicated. It's actually a lot complicated. Reality shifting is really complicated. I don't mean to say it like, oh, it's easy. No, it's quite challenging. But the reality shifting coaching that I do helps you to figure out what your purpose is, helps you to bring down your force field of self-sabotage, helps to connect you with your energy. I literally provide energy meditations and help to awaken your energy centers and to align you. It's part of the process. So if you're interested in this coaching, particularly if you have a business that you're trying to launch, I love working with people that are working on passion, purpose-driven businesses. It's a great pleasure of mine. Please feel free to reach out to me at sacredjourneyproductions@gmail.com. Okay, we'll talk soon.